Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your finals. This is the first finals that we get to see of the entire Challenger Cup. Don't forget, there's 6 more weeks after this one, but first, let's take a look at our two teams. One of them is going to be Return, and we're going to see Team Salt, the same team we just saw beat Bloodbath and Beyond. So we take a look at the left side of the screen. That's going to be Return. We're going to see Madman Mark, somebody we've seen in and out of the pro scene. Hammer Time, a brand new account with a lot of obvious experience, so that's a question mark. BCHM, 16. Clow, who... And Homafay.
Who's Clow? I like
And
Clow.
Homafay.
Yeah, Homie Effie, my man. Nithra on that other side is doing the bans for his team. Mercury and Cirquette removed. Loki, Nua also taken off the board.
Ra's going to be the first lock-in for Return, and Team Salt pays back the favor with 2 instantly locked Freya and Geb.
Freya, Geb, strong picks. Geb is, of course, been super important today, but Freya is just able to do so much damage if you don't find a way to lock her down. It's also a pick that, well, Madman Mark really enjoys playing in that hunter role.
Yeah, Madman Mark, that's what he's good at. You know, he plays that hunter role well. Like we said, Madman Mark, I always use Madman Mark as we see in Athena and Zhang Kui lock in for the team on the left. I always use Madman Mark as my example for up-and-coming players. You know, Madman Mark was strictly just a dude that downloaded Smite. He doesn't really have competitive gaming experience, played throughout ranked, slowly raised up the ladder, and as we, if you watch pro players, as we see the Apollo band come out, if you watch pro players, there was a time when they would get Madman Mark on their team in ranked, and you'd see them sigh and talk about how bad he is, and these days they go, oh, we got Madman Mark. He might not be Zapman, but he's definitely a different player. He's skilled up, he's played for competitive teams in the path to launch and the path to SPL, and here he is making a return, no pun intended, in the Challenger Cup in the finals. So he's trying to make a spot and a name for himself by himself now, and we'll see what he can do.
Now we shall see what he's going to do. The team composition so far, we've got Ra, Athena, Zhang Kui up against Freya, Geb, and Rom. Still junglers not yet decided, but the support matchup it's Athena versus Geb. Not something we've really seen before after
Geb and Athena are usually the most picked and banned characters in not all of Smite, because things like Ra and Giannis exist, but Athena and Geb are undoubtedly the 2 strongest supports, I would say, at this moment in time. Period. End of story. Would you argue that? Or
looking at the SPL so far, based on Friday, not today, Geb is in 85% of matches, and Athena is in 71, either picked or banned. There are other supports that make appearances, but it's unlikely to see a game that does not have Geb or Athena in it.
Yeah, they're just incredibly powerful at what they do. Basically, Geb has that shield which removes CC and basically deters enemies from attacking, and Athena has global presence. So that's going to be, two things that are both extremely strong for both Return and Team Salt. We're going to see what they can do and what the teams can do around their individual supports in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned for Game 1 of your North American Challenger Cup Finals of the first week. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your first match of your best out of 3 finals. It's going to be Return in the blue lane, coming out of the bottom of your spectator UI, versus Team Salt in red, coming out of the top.
In the blue trunks, Return is Madman Mark 22 on your Hunter, or Hammer Time, whoever that is, on your support Athena, BCHM on your jungle, Bastet, Omiefi on your solo lane Ra, in the mid lane, Clow Kui on Zhang Kui.
I will not be calling him Clow Kui, but he is Clow and he is playing Zhang Kui. So, that is the character and the player setup. Once again, we're going to see the 5-man group up, both Return and Team Salt. sort of making a yin-yang design right now. Return trying to go for that pincer move that we see oh so popular. Jig's gonna get taunted out. That might be big. A lot of damage, but no kill. Return really should not chase this. This would be haphazard. Cloud gonna throw out the card to get a little bit of dot and slow onto the enemy. But that's about it. Team Salt gonna go ahead and retreat into the middle lane. Return gonna do likewise. And in just a couple of seconds, we'll see the game get underway.
Yeah, Return grouping up as 5, and you think they are going to be able to get control of both mid camps?
You know, after off of that, they just might. That said, we're already at the 0 minute mark. So in just 10 seconds, minions and camps do spawn at 10 seconds. That should be more than enough time for your Team Salt to really recover from that, and they already have. Return is going to go ahead on the right side of the map, and Team Salt going to go ahead and claim the left side of the map. Both of those mid camps split down the middle. Like I said, Kret, just more than enough time for both teams to get into position.
Yeah, so that initial engagement didn't really do too much. For the long lane, it looks like Hammer Time has not used his Hand of the God, so that is an option for him going into the lane. Jigs and Jaden, of course, have, and that's a level 2 support for Team Salt. Hammer Time gets aggressive, pops the hog, level 2. Madman Mark wants to jump in. They're looking at Jigs. Taunt back into the stun, Kalamoing it up, but a nice shockwave to get out. Not too much damage.
Yeah, just good aggression, and you know, with that type of engagement, Kret, it's less about the damage and more about the message you send. You say, hey, we're willing to engage. It doesn't matter if we're level 2. We're gonna hit you. We're gonna taunt you. We're gonna stun you, and you have to be ready for it. That said, the damage also does matter. Hammer Time sitting at about 40% HP. Very aggressive with this play, very confident in his Athena work.
That's going to be a pull onto 2 players, or a taunt onto 2 players, but Hammer Time's taking a lot of damage here. 3 archers, just going to be the sole defenders for Return. They've got to back off. Chain and Jake's creating from space for himself. Let's talk about some other lanes, and we actually see BCH M16 going to back harpies with Clow red buff over to Clow Kui, and on the other side, Frey and Agni rotating over to get their red together.
Yeah, junglers left very early in the right-hand lane. Usually we see junglers stay till about level 4 almost. Junglers were out of there by about 1 minute and 20 seconds, both being level 2.5 or so. So that was an early departure. Good clear coming out again in the left-hand duo lane. Frey gonna join the middle lane, helping push out this stuff, and here comes Clow, sort of rotating to the left, gonna be spotted out by the mid laner. That's a good dash from Nick. 2-on-2, Bastet jumping in, gets the cats onto Netheria. Good whoop is gonna save her life, but not quite. BCHM gonna go ahead and take that kill, and the dot gonna kill also the mid laner. That is a double kill at the 2.5 minute mark for the Bastet, and as a Bastet player, you couldn't want anything more. You want to get fed early, and that cat is coming to feed.
That we'll see what happens, but Return is looking good right now. 2-0 start is a great way to start the match going, and Clow seems to be taking this one relatively seriously. I'm pretty sure it's an experience advantage in every lane. Homie Effie not going to find the snipe onto Astro squared, so no kill there. But Return overall is just looking really strong right now.
Yeah, Return is playing really just lights out. Everything from the initial aggression to that great ult from the cat. Right there, what we saw, although it was a great play from Frey, to be honest with you. Cloud caught out in the middle lane. Here comes the cat once again, hitting them with the dot, but Cloud should be dead if all Valkyrie hits. It does, and that kill goes to Freya. Good leap back over there for Beecham. That's going to be about 1 kill for Team Salt, 2 for Return. And still Return above all in both gold and experience, despite that kill.
Yeah, Return is looking really, really good. We'll see if they can continue to farm this out. Homie Effie backing, not quite done with that Warlock Sash yet, needs a bit more gold. Does have Sprint on board now, which can be very, very important for getting away from that Vamana. It's one of those matchups where while Ra wins the lane, Vamana's very strong against Ra in the team fights later on.
Yeah, later on is basically what Team Salt's going to have to look out for. They're already trailing by 1,000 gold. Seems a little bit bigger than that based on the way the blue team is playing. But Team Salt definitely needs to start looking towards the future. Here's another gank coming out from Beecham 16. Not able to do much, as that is a Vamana, but enough to push Astro back onto his tower. Think twice about playing aggressively.
Definitely in the middle lane. Cloud's gonna try and hold his ground. Freya in the right jungle might want to do something in the short lane, in the solo lane. But hold on a second. Cloud's getting very low, just 200 health. Dash in a tower, and Nick finds the kill. Only one ghost gets out of the bag.
And if there was any question on if NJ Nicholas was the actual mid laner from Snipe, that is a calculated veteran move. Diving under tower at level 7, aggressively with the dash. You have to know where the enemy is. You have to understand map pressure. You have to understand just the amount of damage you can output and get that kill. It's exactly what he did. Fantastic play coming out from Nick, really showing that he's a veteran in the Smite scene.
In the long lane, Madman Mark sitting on half health, forced back by Janin and his support friend Jigs. Jigs recalling. Looks like full Midas, so he is ahead of Hammer Time for now. He's just trying to farm up, I think, an extra 100 or so gold. Mid camps coming up soon-ish. So Hammer Time has actually hit a little bit of an awkward timing. You want to get Midas ASAP, but you don't want to not be around for mid camps. In the left-hand lane, Madman Mark in trouble. Janin full health, but Janen's going to stay safe and just walk away.
Athena trying to make something happen by herself. Madman Mark behind the creep wave, so just a good taunt. And there's the back. Maybe not. Hammer Time, like I said, thinking about backing, you talked about wanting to finish up those Midas boots. That's really where she wanted to back and pick those up. Hammer Time's going to go back and get it. Might not be up for these mid camps, but Jean-Qui is here ready and waiting. That said, it's a 2-on-3. It's only Beecham and Clow here for 3 members of Team Salt. Looks like they're just going to
Athena
take it.
all onto the Bastet. This is an aggressive play. Nithra on Clow with Ramal helping out, so Clow's going to get very low here. The third hit about to land. Doesn't quite connect, but Valkyrie's discretion will confirm the kill. Now Hammer Time and Beecham, they're in a tough spot. Jigs waiting for his cooldowns to come back up. Bastet in trouble. Rotation out from Astro Squared. Finds the kill, able to take that one home to the solo lane. Hammer Time dashes out, connects with a player, stunned out, will fall. Jigs gets the kill. Sniper
Beautiful.
finds Nicholas. Beautiful play from whom EFE. Janin very low from that Celestial Beam. And the play from Homie Effie there is going to keep Gold Fury from going to Team Salt. Madman Mark's going to jump in, but he could be in trouble here.
Gets a stun onto one, but a good shield is going to cleanse it. Madman Mark knocked up in the air by Astro thanks to his 6-minute rotation. He's still here. And Homofe, the one who actually deterred that Gold Fury, good analysis by Crut, is going to go ahead, not pick up a kill, but again, try and force the enemy into the wrong spot. I pointed out that 6-minute rotation, Crut. That's so important. That is a very early solo lane rotation. And if Vamana didn't show up, that fight wouldn't have gone the way it did. And that brought Homofe along the way. So just the ripple effects of that early solo lane rotation is infinite. So Astro Squared going to go ahead and go back to base after a well-deserved gold farm. And buy some items and head back to lane.
I mean, the fact that he's now 2-0-1, he's got a lot of gold in comparison to his lane opponent. We did say that Vamana loses the lane early, and he did. But off of that rotation, it seemed like Astro was able to pick up enough to put him even in lane. And at this point, at this level, he should be able to hold his ground up against Homie Effie. We'll see how that, of course, turns out later on. Big rotation over the left-hand side. Janin, not going to get caught out.
Not getting caught out this time. Haven't been caught out at all thus far. I don't really think we saw him caught out too much. Definitely died a little bit last game, but not due to poor positioning. Good taunt coming out from Athena. Taunt. Ultimate coming out from Jigs. Not too much, but there's the Freya onto Beecham. 1, 2, 3 shots coming out. 4 shots gonna miss. Rom's in the air. That's a dead cat. Beecham sent back to the well. Good closing out by the Hunter.
I do want to mention also the importance of the second 2 shots. First shot confirmed the kill. Great. Second shots on a Madman Mark. Now sitting at 400 health. Jane's going to take a lot of damage. Nice burst there. Stone Shield a little bit late. Good play from Hammer Time, but Freya's lurking. Could go around. Maybe going to try to banish through the wall. Nope, just going to steal some farm. Taking the blue buff. Nice use of Hog. Blue is gone. Hammer Time kind of wants to fight here. Madman Mark's pushing up, but this isn't 2v2. This is 3v2. And Nick finds a solo kill in the mid lane. Nice taunt. Hammer Time will get out for now. Jaden rolls in the tower, lands the shot, lands the cripple, but not going to land the kill. Double recall on the left-hand side. Left mid camp at the very least is free, but the duo lane from Salt's too low. Once again, not able to get the Gold Fury.
I like that play killing the blue camp. Taking blue away from a hunter, specifically taking blue away from a Rom, is impressive, since the change to the #1 ability now uses mana. So taking away that blue buff is a big deal. And it just changes the dynamic of how the dual lane can actually play. You see less aggression, more farming, more wave clearing. It impacts so many things by just stealing a simple camp. And, you know, that good heads-up play coming out from that Freya as she helps out her solo lane with his own blue buff.
Blue buff gonna go to Astro Squared, and it's really important for Vamana. He's just one of those characters that has really high mana costs for
gold.
Kind of no reason. Yeah, that's a Gold Fury play and a quick one. Remember, Bastat Cats are so good here, but Jigs is going to come rolling in. Going to be able to get into the mix. Shockwave, Cataclysm, Team Salt gets the Gold Fury. Hammer Time is completely outplayed there. Wow, now in a lot of trouble. Just 100 health. Rom up in the air. Third hit will connect. That's supposed to be the hard one. Madman Mark up in the air. Bastat around the other side. Wants Jigs. Shockwave, turn around. Jigs is going to just barely survive.
Team Salt. Team Salt, just a well-oiled machine. I like that play. Jigs came, Cataclysm, Hog, Steal. That is a calculation. You understand just where the Gold Fury is health-wise. You hit it perfectly. And then Jaden, just 3-0-3 Slashline at the moment, doing all the right things that you want your hunter to be doing. Now 2 levels above his ADC opposition. Taunted in the long lane, getting poked out a little bit, but as we mentioned, he's level 12. Hammer Time's only 9.
Hold on, right-hand side, it's a dive onto the tower. Nick takes a lot of damage. Defender Olympus coming through. Astro Squared in his ultimate, but here comes Nithra. Athena arrived from the sky. Nithra wants this kill. Valkyrie's discretion misses the second one, finds the third. Hammer Time doesn't get the taunt. Cloud coming in, but not fast enough.
And Nicholas very, very low. Netheria sort of low. Astro Squared not too low at all, especially considering he's of a mana. But that was definitely a tasty situation for Cloud to come over. Not able to do much. Jaden's rotating to the middle lane. Bastet trying to play some defense. And that's a 2-level advantage of the Hunter onto the jungle as well. Jaden, level 13. Highest level in the game outside his own solo laner at 14.
I love the rotation out from Jaden here. You're like, all right, I'm going to rotate just in case I need to be there, but I'm still going to collect farm. And he is going to cover that mid lane farm. Now, he's going to lose a little bit of pressure in his own lane. Ullr pushing up, we can see that, but Nithra and NJ Nicholas in the area. They're clearing red buff instead. They should probably help this left tower, but I don't think it's going to go down as Nithra shows up around the backside. He's got the banish, he's got the damage, and Madman Mark is going to have to respect this Freya. Will be able to jump away. Pulse Radiate, nice stun rotation out from Jaden. Pop Sprint, he wants this kill. He's going to roll forward. He really wants this kill. Popping his pick-me-up. Gets some damage, but not enough to find it. In the middle lane, though, Nicholas in trouble.
A lot of aggression coming out onto Nick. He's 1 red in a sea of blue. Cloud's going to take a lot of damage, and Cloud might even go down. He does to the burn, but not before he falls himself. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade over there. Meanwhile, left camps go to Team Salt, and Hammer Time finds himself surrounded by red right now. Good whoop. Here comes the basics. Absorb, but a bad knock forward coming out from Jigs is going to leave the Athena safely under her own tower.
So I want to explain that rollout there. What it comes down to is rollout effectively works like a billiard spiral. There are some angles where you can knock people in the direction you really want them to go. He gave it a shot because he knew if he landed the knockup, they had a chance at a kill. If he didn't, he was securing the fact that they wouldn't have killed Athena anyway.
Right.
So they didn't give anything up there. It was worth a shot. It just didn't end up working out. Hammer Time saving some farm for his mid laner, but taking some damage for it too.
Sort of a return to normalcy right now for both teams. We see Vamana looking at his blue buff, but he's really the only player on the entire map out of position. Here comes Return trying to make a move towards middle lane. Beecham gonna go ahead towards middle lane while Hammertime's caught out in the jungle. Good Cataclysm coming out from Geb. One knockup, one pulse, and that's a dead Hammertime. Athena's gonna go back to the well. Two members of blue team try to rotate, but they're about 10 seconds too late for that one. And Team Salt collects another kill, 13-4.
Yeah, forcing Beecham to jump over that wall. This will be a great opportunity for Gold Fury if it were actually available. So now Team Salt is like, yeah, we've got pristine map pressure on the left-hand side, and their speed is down, and the blue is down, and the Gold Fury is down, and the mid-camps are down. And none of them responding anytime soon, but Madman Mark, he's a little bit too far up, will jump away. Jaden pop, sprint, Defender Olympus coming through, but Jigs is going to knock back with the rollback. It hits a wall. Rom up in the air, one hit, two hit. Beautiful kill. Clow coming in. Jaden's going to be able to spot that out for Jigs, and Jigs honestly is looking to roll out soon. He needs to maintain distance from Clow. Beecham coming in, and here's Jigs gonna look to roll out, gets the wall, not body block. Cats will connect. He's slowed a little bit, but is going to be able to find the space he needs, and his team will help him kill those cats. Nicholas finds a stun, gets some damage. That's the disengage.
I really like that play, Kret.
Wait, right hand side, homie Effie dove by two. Left hand side, a little bit of engage.
Always in solo lane. That is sort of the double violence. I like that, keeping the enemy on their toes. Team Salt, we talked about how they had the pressure on the left-hand side. There was nothing to do. Instead, just went ahead and grabbed the Hunter. Why not? And then pressure on both sides of the map, really forcing Team Salt into a decision. They get the Hunter, they get the right-hand tower, so that's going to put Team Salt, it's still going to put them in the lead.
Oh, Nick in the middle lane. He's in a lot of trouble. Ghosts are chasing him down. Beecham is going to dive, but Nick's able to sprint out of there in time, picking up sprint and dash on Agni. Just so much mobility.
so much. It's the reason Agni has been prevalent in the competitive scene since the competitive scene existed, essentially. Agni, the dash has been nerfed, and it's still absolutely incredible. Left-hand mids, red team picking them up. Ultimate
Nice
used by
stun.
Agni to zone. Love it. Zoning comes first, then comes basics. Beecham coming after the cat. Good jump. 1-2. That third shot is ageist. And a good jump back. But Janen's right there to secure the kill onto Bastet. Cloud trying to provide some resistance for his support. Hammertime. Hammertime level 12. Cloud level 14. Not much they can do, but a good beam from Homofe is going to prevent the rest of the red team from really aggressing onto Madman Mark. But now Jaden and Etheria are a little bit too deep. They're going to find their exit when NJ Nick kills Cloud in the middle lane. That's a dead Freya due to the ultimate coming out from Ra. More damage from that celestial beam, and there's the heal dropped, and here comes Mamana.
And that's what Mamana does against Ra. I mentioned it earlier, he's so good at this point in the game because Ra's like, yeah, I'm going to sit in my heal with my team and we're going to be fine. And Mamana's like, do you know how much damage I get from my ultimate? I'm just going to hit you. I'm just going to hit you, and you're not going to be able to sit in your heal. I'm going to be able to chase you despite your incredibly strong passive that grants 24% movement speed. And not only that, he has a weakening curse. So Ra is going to have trouble when Astro Squared is in the mix. Gold Fury is up, but neither team really needs the pressure to go for it right now. We do, NJ Nicholas is probably going to be looking to back soon. Nithra just respawning. And Astro Squared right now just picking up some farm along with the rest of his team.
Blue over here in the left-hand lane. He's all by himself, but Athena and Bastet coming over here. They're looking at the vision onto the Gold Fury. They have a ward on both sides of the Gold Fury, both entrances. It's pretty fun. But
It is fun.
Yeah, return is not going to, Team Salt not going to really do much. There's Nithra pulling the Gold Fury. Hammertime going to come over from the backside. They're expecting him from the front, the quick disengage. That was essentially, can we do it? No, we can't. See you later.
It was also there is the potential, I just want to throw in there, of, hey, look, we can get a kill. And that almost happened, but they saw the Zhonghui rotation on the ward. Speaking of Zhonghui, he's forced to sprint away. Banish is such a great ability at popping actives. It's like, all right, you need to use something or you die. NJ Nicholas has a lot of gold on his person right now. Recalling with 2,600. What's he going to buy?
Really couldn't even tell you right now.
I think he wants the 2 hoodie.
Most likely, with that much gold, not a bad choice. Level 14 Madman Mark trying to play the Hunter game with Janin, but that's a level 17 Rom Mark. You really don't want to take that fight. Here comes the rest of Team Salt. And I mean, just by levels alone, Cred, I think they have the resistance to try and aggress onto this Gold Fury by themselves. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Defender of Olympus coming through. Big engagement. Beecham in the front line, but banished out once again. Hammer Time's just going to drop Cataclysm on top. Lots of damage from Valkyrie's Aggression. And J-Nate wreaking havoc. The Gold Fury's low. And Jigs is going to actually miss the hog, but it doesn't matter because the entire area is cleaned and Astro is zoning out Madman Mark.
Janin 7-0-5 slash line for the Hindu Hunter coming off of Team Salt right now. Absolutely incredible play, and looks like Team Salt is going to go from one objective to the next. They're already going to take Fire Giant. Should be all right. No hog for them, so they got to be careful, but with Hammer Time down for another 4 seconds and Fire Giant already about 40% HP, they should have the damage to do this, but the Raw Snipe will be real if it comes. Team Salt already destroyed it. That's going to be that.
Yeah.
Raw deters and finds the detour and walks away to his right. Now Team Salt, 20 minutes in, up 8,500 gold, 17,000 experience, plus a Fire Giant buff to their name. They're going to be looking to siege, Cret. It's just a matter of where.
I just want to mention how good that FG call was. Now, they didn't have Hog. They actually didn't have Hog on the Gold Fury because Jigs embarrassingly missed it. He's playing really well. That just happens sometimes. You're in a fight. You're like, I think it's low enough. And then it's not. And you're like, it was fine. But they have an auto attacker on Freya, an auto attacker on Rom, they've got an auto attacker on Vamana, and an Agni who can just dump his entire kit for a massive amount of damage. You generally don't see Agni as a burst mage because he dumps it over like 4 or 5 seconds, but Meteor, Flame Wave, Dash is doing 4,000-ish raw damage. That's off the top of my head, not exact numbers. I could run them for you if you wanted. It's a lot. Agni's Meteors are one of the highest damage mage ultimates in the game.
Yeah, and, you know, the fact that you can split up that damage is incredible. You could pick and choose if you want to full frontal assault somebody, or if you want to use it more sparingly and slowly chip them down. And this is the answer to the question I posed earlier, Cret. Team Salt is going to come powering down this left-hand lane. We always talk about how you don't want to really defend the towers, you want to defend the Phoenixes, but here we have Hammer Time, Homofey, and Madman Mark defending. Great taunt coming out from Athena. Is it good enough? The red team is not going to be baited into chasing instead of killing the objective. They take the tower, and now they're still looking to the future in spades. Jigs coming out under the tower, going to go ahead, take the front of the Phoenix fight.
Hammer Time in trouble, right-hand side, very low. Nithra runs out of Freya, but is able to secure the kill with just the raw auto attacks. Left Phoenix goes down. Now they need to clear out towers. They do have Fire Giant buffs or some sustain, but Nithra is now in trouble. Banish doesn't connect, forced to ultimate due to bad positioning and an unfortunate missed banish there. So really nice from Homie, but he loses beads as well. Damage coming in from Madman Mark. He wants this kill. Nithra in trouble. This Stone Shield just in time. Stun and stays alive. Needs the lifesteal. Will he survive?
Beautiful.
Yes, he will. Nithra stays alive despite all odds.
Beautiful play coming right there. That's teamwork. That was a Gem Shield, that was a body block, and that was just good individual play coming out from the Freya. And Homofey dead before I can even address the fact that he's being aggressed on. Team Salt just absolutely incredible at the moment. That's another kill for Janin. The writing is on the wall, and Return certainly sees it. They're going to go ahead and call the surrender. Team Salt takes this game in 22 minutes, 26-5.
That was a dominant victory for Team Salt. They looked very good. They got to be in high spirits. And it's going to be Return trying to stay calm, cool, collected, and head into the next match. We'll be back with Game 2 of a best of 3 for the finals of your Challengers Cup Week 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We regret to inform you that your finals are going to be cut short. We do have a disconnect going the way of Return. The Athena Hammer Time, the internet did go out, so he's not going to be able to return. So that's going to be the end of that. And unfortunately, we only got to see one. But that does mean first place this week goes to Team Salt, and well-deserved. They played outstandingly lights out, and I was just very impressed. Moving on to the rest of the Challenger Cup, though, Cret. 84 teams came out. 84 teams competed. That is, let me do the math real quick, 420 individual players. I am incredibly impressed with the turnout. I can't wait to see next week. I hope all 84 teams return, maybe even more, Cret.
Yeah, more would be great. You know, let's fill the round of 128.
Exactly. This is where we're going to find the next teams. I talk about it all the time. This is where stars are born. So go ahead, get your team, and maybe you can be first place next week. For Cret, Moji, everybody at hi-rez, and everybody at production, my name is F. Thanks for joining us with our North American Challenger Cup series. We'll be signing off now, but don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the European style of things. Once again, my name is F. For Cret, we'll catch you later.